Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? So my name is Kim and I'm the owner of 5th and Harlow Salon Boutique located in Dunwoody, which is a suburb of Atlanta, Sandy Springs area. So if you're in the area and you're looking for beauty services, come and visit me. Follow me and make sure that you click the link in the bio. So let's get to it. Now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, so today I told you guys I wanted to talk to you about the Gina Curl and the Jheri Curl so that you could know the difference. Now, a lot of my clients have been asking, can I get this service? What is this service? And is this the same as a Jheri Curl? So one of my clients actually sent me a video and she was like, girl, can we do this to my hair? And she was like, watch this video. So I was watching the video and immediately, as soon as I saw what the girl got, I was like, girl, that ain't nothing but some ultra perm. I said, that, my dear, is a Jheri Curl. But, of course, a lot of the natural girls are kind of like, if they're not telling us what they're really getting, a lot of the girls are getting the Jheri Curl, but it's like the 2022 version. But really, that kind of started some years ago. So when I say years ago, I mean like years ago, because I remember some of my old clients, like maybe at least 6 years ago, talking about this same service. And then, since nobody asked me to do it or whatever, I never did it. And I didn't see it in the salon that I was in before I opened up my own salon suite. I was in a corporate salon setting. So I didn't see a lot of people of color, Black people specifically, getting that service inside of my salon. However, we will offer that service. So it is called a Jheri Curl from back in the day, right? But that has a negative connotation, like, all that stuff from like people tracksuits having all that juice on the back. And like on Coming to America, when the family got up and they left all that Jheri Curl juice on that man's couch. Y'all know y'all was wrong for that. Y'all gonna buy him some new seat covers? Are you? I bet y'all not gonna buy him no seats, okay? Y'all didn't buy Mr. McDowell with all that money from Soul Glow. Did y'all buy him a new plush couch? That's probably why Grandma and them had all that plastic on their seats. Now that I think about it, you have to get up like this. I used to hate that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. That was something that started back in like the 70s, early 80s, and really took off amongst the Blacks community because we Blacks wanted to have that washing, or whatever you want to call yourself. The point is, a lot of cultures have the hair texture that's the curly hair. But the issue comes in when we're trying to maintain those curls and not have it puff up and, get all frizzy and just keep them looking nice and juicy and pretty. So that's across the board. Hence the permanent wave system, and then change it over so that it can work with textured hair. Hence the invention of the Jheri Curl, Jheri, created by Jheri. His last name was Redding, sorry. His company was Jheri Redding. His first name, I'm looking at my notes here. His first name was Robert William Redding, okay? So let's get into what a Jheri Curl is. So according to my research, just so that I could give you guys the exact meaning of what a Jheri Curl is, a Jheri Curl is a permanent waving system using a cream-based product that is formulated with ammonia. They use ammonium thioglycolate, unlike relaxers, which use sodium hydroxide or calcium hydroxide, and keratin systems use their own formula. And so all these things are doing is rearranging the bonds in your hair so that it goes from, if your hair is curly, it goes straight. If your hair is straight or wavy of any type, it's going to change those bonds so that the hair becomes straightened. So that's just a little breakdown, and that's why those two things don't go together. They don't like each other, like I said before. Like the non-Black people, okay? We see a lot of permanent waves. You probably see a lot less of Jheri Curls depending on what type of salon you're in. Same concept, okay? Except ours is using a cream first, okay, which is the rearranger. Then you use the booster, okay? And then you put on the neutralizer after so you can lock those curls in, just like in a permanent waving system. You want to lock that stuff in so that once you take the rollers out, now you should have whatever curl pattern you wanted. The rearranger. Then you use the booster, okay? And then you put on the neutralizer after so you can lock those curls in, just like in a permanent waving system. You want to lock that stuff in so that once you take the rollers out, now you should have whatever curl pattern you wanted. When you're done, your head should either look like this, or it will be the more traditional curl pattern, which is the tighter curl pattern, the smaller rod sections. So that's basically what happens with the Jheri curl. Now, a little backstory on the Jheri curl. The Jheri curl was named such because it was created by Robert William Redding, which I'm looking on my notes. He was a white chemist and a cosmetologist in the 1970s. He created this product because he was just really interested in chemistry, and he wanted to do something on the side for textured hair to create what he had been seeing created, you know, a long time ago for permanent waving on other hair textures. Now, keep in mind that there were many other inventors who actually created the permanent waving system. One being such was a black woman named Marjorie, and I'll have to get her last name, but Marjorie actually created this system with the little things that have been used for years. Okay guys, so you know I couldn't let that go without giving this beautiful woman her props. Her name is Marjorie Stewart Joyner. Okay, she created a permanent waving machine back in, let's see, 1928. It was patented. She had a drawing and everything. You can look this up on Wikipedia, but what I want you guys to do is watch this interesting video by Cyn Doll, C-Y-N Doll, on YouTube. She's so funny, she's so amazing, and she really breaks down the structure of the hair and the history, giving everybody their props all the way up, but she's also talking to you guys about that and its comparison to the Gina Curl, which we're going to get into in a few minutes. Okay, so like we could talk, right? Y'all, we could talk. Can we talk to each other? Because you know I'm gonna talk to y'all like I talk to my customers, and even though I like to educate, I want to also relate. Okay, so the Jheri curl and the Gina curl, what is it? So I just told you what a Jheri curl was, right? The Jheri curl has 3 parts: the rearranger, which makes your bonds break down so that the hair can become straighter, right? Almost like a relaxer. 2 different chemicals. Ammonium thioglycolate is the Jheri curl formulation, and usually sodium hydroxide or calcium hydroxide is the relaxer. These 2 things don't mix. Don't ever do it. Never, ever, ever. Don't mix them. They ain't friends. They don't like each other. They don't play right. You know, they don't deal with them. I don't mess with you. You don't mess with me. We don't do that. That's what they say. They don't like each other. They get together, they start fighting, and your hair just fall out. Okay, you be bald-headed, okay? That's just it. You'll be bald-headed. Don't mix the 2, okay? So, you know what I just told you, right? Okay, so now let me tell you about the Jheri curl, the things you can do and what you cannot do. You cannot do that, like I said, over other chemicals. It just doesn't mix. The hair has to be cut off, so if you have any permanent waving in your hair that's not that same chemical component, if you have a relaxer in your hair, you either need to grow it all the way out and cut it, or you just need to cut it and get enough hair to start back. They just don't mix. Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't listen to anybody telling you that you can. Just wait. Just be patient, okay? And then it has to be applied every 3 months. One hairstylist at Dawn's of Essence Salon, she has a video also on YouTube, and she's been doing hair, she said, for like a very long time, which means that she's actually skilled in doing it because she still does the Jheri curl service. So you need to listen to old school stylists because they know exactly what they're talking about. They do it, right? So she recommends no less than 3 months to get your Jheri curl or your Gina curl redone. I said Gina Curl, we ain't talking about her right now, just the Jheri curl, so I do apologize for that. So that's what you have to do with the Jheri curl. Now let's get into the Gina Curl. The Gina Curl is coined such because it was created by a hairdresser who also came up in the 70s, a white hairdresser, and I'm saying white for a reason because just to let you know, there was black inventors and black people doing things, but these 2 people this person who created the Jheri curl, he was a white scientist and a hairstylist, and this lady Gina Rivera, she created the Gina curl. So just, so you know, but she really wanted to do she had a passion for doing textured hair, and more specifically black women's hair, and she saw that there was a need in the places that she was going to serve the black females, and at the time, or the black people, because she did males too. At the time, the salon she wanted to work in, they weren't accepting her, and then the other salons didn't offer, and in the white salons, they didn't serve black clientele. So she found herself in a conundrum, and she wanted to do that. She really had a passion for Black people's hair. And sometimes, you know, you don't have to be Black or white. You don't have to be a certain skin color to do other people's hair. I don't know who decided you had to do that. You be whatever color you want to be and do whatever kind of hair you want to do. So we need to stop doing that and stop worrying about that. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So that's when Gina decided, like, after the Jheri Curl system was taken off the market because it had issues, she later on, much later on, decided to come up with something and try to work on a technique that would work well on African American hair, but also help let it grow and, you know, be strong and healthy and moisturized. So this is when she came up with the Gina Curl system. She says her system is a different system. I'll leave that up to you. Now, after watching Cyn Doll's video and then going to watch Gina explain her Gina Curl process, they seem exactly the same to me as far as all the components that they use, except what she's done is what a lot of innovators do. They take something that's old and they reconfigure it, restructure it, change a few things around, kind of maybe eliminate something, but do it in a different way so that thereby it becomes a new invention, a new innovation, a restructuring of something old. Like everything new, old becomes new again. Okay, like Brazilian, like this hair, which is deep curly hair. Y'all get that on install day. Anyway, just like hair. I mean, you could call these hair things, this one I call deep curly because my vendor calls it deep curly. Somebody else might call it deep wavy or super curly, or I don't know, not Italian curl, whatever they want. At the end of the day, it's some curly hair. All you need to know is what you need to get from your vendor. That's why pictures are always good, so that everybody's on the same page. If you want to get it, you know, from the person that's selling it, you just want to say, hey, do you guys have this kind of hair? It's deep curly, but here's a picture. Pictures say 1,000 words, okay? And they help convey the messages that we all have in our head. So Gina over here, she done created something all new. She's like, look, I got all these African American girls and guys, and I want their hair to be healthier. And I want to eliminate the harmful components, or the smell. Really, it's not harmful, but it stinks. So she wants to eliminate a lot of the things and just kind of see, can she give them the same looks with maybe less. So what she's trying to eliminate a lot of stress on the hair, which she feels that the original Jheri Curl system does. So you know how I told you the Jheri Curl has the 3 parts. They have the rearranger, which straightens the hair, breaks down the bonds in the hair so that it can, you know, want to be straight instead of curly. Okay, and then it has the booster, and then it has the neutralizer. All right, so in Gina's system, she eliminates one of the steps, is what she's saying. What she does is she puts on the straightener, the rearranger first. And then she wants to, on her website, she says she restructures the hair's molecule to reduce frizz and volume. Well, a restructuring of the hair's molecules to reduce frizz and to reduce volume is much like a relaxer or a keratin treatment. So a lot of these things are doing the same thing, but what you're doing with the Gina Curl and the Jheri Curl is you're actually a reversal of a keratin or a reversal of a relaxer. You're adding curl to hair that either will not hold a curl or that is straight. Okay, instead of the other ones, you're making hair straight. So long story short, reversal. Okay, one thing, you're making your hair straight and smoother. One thing is you're adding curl to a hair that either won't hold the curl or it is very straight. Hence the permanent waving system, the Jheri Curl and the Gina Curl and the Kim Curl and the Ashley Curl and whatever other curl you want to add. Okay, so So back to what it does. The Gina Curl, essentially, like she said, she does that system. She takes out one of the steps. Her main thing is, what she's trying to say is, she doesn't want the overlap of chemical on the hair every time you get your curl redone. So you know how when they roll the hair down and you see them squeezing stuff out onto the rollers, and then they just kind of like blot it or just get the excess off, and then, you know, you have the cotton around. That stuff is setting the curl and going in there, and it's rearranging so that the curl, when it's wrapped around one of these rods, now the hair wants to be curly. So it's a longer version of a roller set. It lasts longer. Like I tell a lot of my clients, you know, just sidebar, I tell a lot of my clients, they're like, okay, I don't know why my hair is so straight right here or right here, right here or right here. So when I tell them, even though you're natural or relaxer free, if you constantly pull your hair back in all these tight styles, ponytails, buns, you know, we always want the front of our hair to lay down nice and smooth. You kind of skip this part here and you may get the back part sometimes. Just think about that. It's not a chemical change in the hair, but it is a physical change. So constantly brushing, smoothing, tying, flattening, all these things, you're physically breaking the bonds in the hair, whereas chemically change the bonds. So are you doing anything any better? Not really. What you're doing is training the hair to be a certain way. This is what the Gina Curl, the Jheri Curl, the keratins, and the relaxers are doing. They are permanently training your hair, you know. So when you've trained your hair to do certain things, it behaves better in that specific way. But then say if you're always pressing your hair, even though you're doing, you know, your treatments and everything well, then now you have to try to retrain your hair to be curly, which means you're going to have to lay off a lot of the silk press services. You're going to have to lay off a lot of things that are stretching and breaking those bonds so that the hair can start to do, you know, what it needs to do. This is something that Gina stresses, that she doesn't want you guys to do a lot of silk presses and things like that because your Gina Curl service may not even take. And it's because the hair has been broken down so much so that it's really hard for her to, she's noticed that people may not even get, you know, the curl patterns that they're looking for. I don't know if this is true with the Jheri Curl because, like, even though she's saying she's using different things, I think that she's doing the same thing, just a different way. Like, one thing that we have to do, especially in the Black community as it relates to the customer and the stylist experience, is stop listening to everybody. Like, I know we pick and choose who we want to listen to, and y'all can spend your money wherever you want to, but at the end of the day, like, would you trust, let's not use that word, who you gonna listen to? Your grandma, your aunties? I know my grandma's sisters, like, I had to do one of their Jheri Curls. I was so nervous when I was, I think, right out of beauty school. Had to do my auntie's hair, and I was nervous. She had been wearing a curl since probably before, I don't even know. And I wanted to do it right, and I did it, and her hair was short, and it turned out well, but, like, I wasn't really doing Jheri Curls. It's just that she knew, they know what to do. That was what was going on. So how you gonna come in and, like, tell people, you know, what they're doing is incorrect? That's not what Gina said, but I'm talking about people. Like, for instance, like, when I was 7, I remember getting a Jheri Curl. I was 7 years old. My Uncle Greg got out of hair school. He had his salon. He came down there and gave me a Jheri Curl, okay? I was 7. My cousin got one. Now, my cousin's hair, to me, was pretty. My hair was nice, okay? I had hair, now that I think about it, I had some nice hair. But we had 2 different hair types, but we both got Jheri Curls. I remember my cousin slinging her hair all around. We used to get a spanking because Granny was like, stop being mannish. Stop being womanish or whatever. I don't know how that was being womanish, but back to what I was saying. My uncle did my perm. I remember sitting in my mom's kitchen, and he did it. And then some years after that, we moved to Michigan, and I think I was like 4th grade. So probably like 1 year, year and a half. I was like in 4th grade, and I moved to Michigan, an all-white school. My friend Justin was like, "Ooh, Kim, your hair reeks." My other new friend Heather was like, "Oh my God, look, actually my hair was half up, half down. It was about this length because of the curls." And I remember, you know, I'm new at this school, okay? And I'm like one of the only Black people I see. There's 2 Black boys, but 1 Black girl, which was me. Oh, and my brother. My brother was in kindergarten, I think. And my friend Heather was like, "Oh my God, your hair's just like ours. Did you get a permanent wave?" And I was like, yeah, that's what I got, yeah. But as soon as Justin said my hair reeked, baby girl, like, that was over for me, okay? I was like, "Hey, Mom, can we get this out?" My mom blew dry my hair. Blow dry? My mom blow dried my hair, and she just let the, you know, thing kind of like grow out. And then I guess some kind of way I got a relaxer later, but my hair was perfectly fine. My mom took really good care of my hair. I had a beautiful head of hair until I started touching it. Like that had to been like in the late 80s. Okay, so then you fast forward, you know, forget all about the Jheri curl or whatever. Like I did not go back to that. None of my friends, because a lot of my friends were white, well, all of my friends were white, up until I moved back to Mississippi in the 8th grade. Then I come back to the 8th grade and there's different, you know, hairstyles there. No, I don't remember a lot of people having the Jheri curl. You know, it was other hairstyles like crimps and, you know, with sister curls, spiral curls, things like that. And that's what they were wearing. So, you know, two totally different experiences. But the Gina Curl is something that, like I said, Gina Rivera created, and she just wanted to have a different take on the Jheri curl system. Now, let's go into the pricing and like how I was saying, how different people react and all that stuff. Like y'all telling hairdressers what to do when you just probably watched a video and or, you know, you might not have done real research, but you have to listen to people like my uncle, a hairdresser in Columbus, Georgia. He actually has a very nice salon called Elements of Style. He's been doing hair like since the 80s once he got out the army, and he's really good. Like he is really good, and he's really structured, and he knows about hair and its structure. But people back then, they didn't have YouTube and all that stuff. You had to learn from others. You had to take classes, and and YouTube is great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like they had to get it out the mud, like for real, for real. And he did my hair, like I said, and I would listen to people like that. Like if you want to know about the Jheri curl or the Gina curl or something like that, ask a hairdresser that's what they did back in the days, and they probably only stopped doing it because, you know, people wanted to do something different. But when they've done it, you know, you learn by experience. That's hands-on experience, and you want to get your research from people who actually have done what you're looking to do. And then you want to make sure that you go to somebody who's willing to listen to you after you've done all your research to see if this is even something that you want to do. Because like I said, according to the hairdresser on YouTube, but she's has a salon in my area called Dawns of Essence. Funny story is, when I moved to Lawrenceville, I actually tried to get a job there, and I didn't do good. So I don't even know what happened, but I didn't get the job there. But now her salon's closer to my house, and I'm just so proud to see it there in a very busy space, and then to see her video on YouTube talking about the Jheri curl and the difference of everything. So that's Dawns of Essence. You want to go to somebody who's been doing this, like I said, for a long time. Now, pricing. The thing with the Gina Curl is her services. I just looked on her page, and her services start at $750 for short hair, $1,200 for medium, and $1,500 plus for long hair. Baby girl, get your coins. I mean, like, people have been doing this since the dawn of time. Like, people right now are saying, oh, let me help you with your Instagram. I can help you create systems. I can help you do drop shipping. I could do all this. But off top, your first meeting is going to be $300. You need to sign a retainer for 6 months. And then you need to do this, this, and that. So you end up paying, you know, $1,500, $3,000 and up to learn these things that they have either learned off the internet, which we should, or paste it together from other, you know, Instagram things. And you just have to do your research to see who's going to be the best person for you, because somebody has actually learned it and their systems work. Somebody's just touting a bunch of things that they've compiled. But it's up to you as the consumer to do your research, choose the person that you think will work best, and pray to God that the stuff works. That's all I'm saying. Trial and error, honey. Trial and error. It's okay, but you need to at least try so you can have the error. And so, anyway, but so like I said, her services start at $950 to $1,500 plus for the Gina/Jheri curl. Okay, now I'm not hating on her, baby. Like I said, get your coins, right? But let's go back to the Jheri curl. Now, the Jheri curl did start way back in the 80s, right? You know, y'all saw Ice Cube rocking the curl, you know, on Boys in the Hood. It was all nice and juicy or whatever. And you saw the guy on Coming to America, Eric LaSalle. He had the curl, you know, so the thing was popping back then. And I think I read a post that said it was about $300 when it came out. But then as time progressed, I know my aunties weren't paying $300. They probably paying $60, $50. Somebody put $80. So even now, it's not that much money. And the Gina curl is getting at least 9 to 10 times that amount. So somebody needs to redo the math, because the math ain't mathing for the type of skill you're getting. Part goes out to the people performing the services. Black beauty providers, black service providers, please, you guys, start to learn your worth. It took me years to learn my worth, and I still struggle with it every day. But when I hear somebody tell me, like clients have actually sat in my chair and said, oh, I wish I could get this wig from this person, but their wigs are like $1,000. Didn't I just tell you that my wig that I first started doing was like $200, $300 because of the type of hair? And you said mine was too much, but you want to save up to get that person's. That is like a stab in the heart. And it discourages us as beauty professionals to, for one, even want to tell y'all the price, and for two, to feel confident in you, and then, you know, make sure that you're able to get in to do all these things for you, because you want to do stuff for everybody else, but not the people that's providing service, especially great service, you know, on a day-to-day basis. And that part is just not right. And the same people, like on Gina's page, like I said, she's been doing this since the 70s, so I'm sure she's extremely skilled. I don't doubt her skill at all. I don't doubt her capitalism. I don't doubt her business-minded aspects or her business acumen. I don't even say anything about that, because she's running her business properly. And that's the cue that a lot of people can take. The only thing is this, people are willing to pay that for what they're getting. But as black service providers, you guys, if you're going to do these services, especially the Jheri curl or the Susie curl or whatever you want to call yours, charge accordingly, because people are going to her and they're paying $9.50 from the top, off top, $9.50. And that's well worth it. If that's what she wants to charge, you as a beauty professional, charge what you're worth, please, because you're worth so much more than even a dollar amount. Makeup artists, beauty professionals, store owners, and other types of merchants, we all, and this may be like this in a lot of cultures, but let's just start paying attention to people. If they're offering you something and you think that there's value in that, then let's all, you know, work together. That's all I'm saying. Now back to the thing. Okay, so Gina Curl, everybody curl, all the curls, they all use these different types of rods here. So even the permanent wave system, you guys have probably seen, I know I have, people use these type of spiral. And these are some other kind of rods that can be used to customize. This is a spiral rod to customize your look. So, and these are the ones that I used to hate, honey. Especially the little tiny green ones. Ugh, I could not stand them. They was not green, blue. I had to roll those, then turn around and blow dry the person's hair out and tease it. I was like, what's the point? Is she gonna get a permanent wave? She gonna pay me $10. She gonna give me a 50-cent tip. And yes, 50-cent tip. And then I gotta turn around, blow dry, tease, so you can be ready for church on Sunday morning. Shout out to Miss Temple. Miss Temple. I love you, Miss Temple. But yeah, so basically that is it. That's the Gina Curl, and then that's the Jheri Curl. The Jheri Curl is a system using 3 steps, and the Gina Curl is a system using 2. At the end of the day, both of the services are chemical systems which rearrange the curl's natural pattern to help it be longer lasting, reduce frizz and volume. Both services require different types of moisture, or require moisture, such as the Jheri Curl requires the curling lotions and things like that. The different types would be like the Carefree Curl, the Wave Nouveau, you know, anybody that does stuff like that. Gina Curl, she actually still uses the same type of formulation, the same type of chemical, the same brand. She just says she eliminates a step, but what I've noticed is she just rearranged the steps. So she's doing everything just in a different pattern is what I'm seeing. And she says with hers, the smell is pretty minimal, if there's any smell, and you can use a leave-in conditioner if you don't want to use the heavy moisturizers. So that's that. So when it comes down to knowing whether or not you should get either service, keep in mind that both services are created for hair that is textured, tightly coiled, or, you know, loosely coiled hair, but it's created for textured hair, and that you can get these services pending you have every other thing in order. No other chemicals on your hair, You haven't been over straightening your hair by flat ironing, tight styles, things like that. You want your hair to be in its most natural state as possible. And then make sure that you do a consultation period before you get any service done. And then choose the right professional so that they can determine what curls pattern, what sizes, what product, all that stuff that you need to use. And then they'll give you your at-home products, or you can purchase them. I was going to tell you guys that actually there was a creator named Gina Curl, I think in the 80s, and he created the boxed curl, and it was about $8. That was something that was done so that people didn't have to spend the $300 in the salon. You know, they probably didn't have it or whatever, especially when you consider whole families getting a service like that. That could really add up. So he created the at-home curly perm, or the at-home curl restructuring solution. And like I said, it was about $8. I do see some of those things at the store now, like the S curl. I think I see the Jheri curl, but I'm not sure. You may see those things depending on your beauty supply. I wouldn't go and reach for those unless you are extremely skilled in doing it. You've been doing it for years, or you have somebody to apply it. Otherwise, go to a salon that does it, and that they're skilled in it, and that they have lots and lots and lots and lots of pictures and lots of clients who get it. I will say also, the price that you pay is totally up to you. Nobody should be in your pockets. You do what you think is best. Just do your research and make sure that you are comfortable with the technician offering the service. Keep in mind that just like any other chemical service, it does require time, money, and commitment. And with this particular one, you will have to allow your hair to grow all the way out before you can get anything else. So you might have to get blow dried and flat irons if you don't want to get this service anymore, until you get enough length on your hair to cut out the previous chemical. So it's just a lot of things that you need to think about, and don't just jump on the bandwagon. Watch a lot of videos, watch a lot of first time services, and a lot of reviews like 4, 5, 6, 7 months after, which is what I was doing, because these things help out when you're trying to decide that next step for your hair. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed doing the research and finding out about what is this Gina Curl? Like, who is Gina? Why do we need her curls? Like, who is she? And I really enjoyed learning all the stuff about it, and I hope that you guys do too. I will leave the links below to the 2 videos that I mentioned, the one by Cyn Doll and the other one by Gina herself, so that you guys can get both of their perspectives on what these services are and what they entail, and that way you can make the best decision. I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow, and please share this video to anyone and everyone who you think needs it. I do not offer this service, either one of them, at this time. I'm very picky about what I put on my clients' hair, whether or not they want it. If it's not right, it's just not right. I know what y'all do. I know what y'all don't do, and so I ain't gonna give it to you, because I don't want to cause any problems, you know. So I'm not gonna offer that service at this time. However, I don't mind sharing the information and hoping that you make a good decision and helping you make a great decision. I will put the links down below to the people that I watch, Cyn Doll and Gina herself, so that you guys can you know, get educated. I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow. And if you like the information that I'm sharing, let your girl know, because your girl don't know. I don't hear from y'all. All I hear is crickets. You know, like, what's going on? I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. I love you, and I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day.